Now, as Ryan, Trenton, and Sean grab your attention towards the world of sports, food, and entertainment, and away from the things that are probably more important, we apologize for nothing and anything that may be spoken, learned, or forgotten today. This is the Real Tree Shaker Show.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Tree Shaker Show. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Trenton. That's pretty loud on your speakers there, man.
We definitely turned it up for sure.
Yes. I'm Sean. We're always turning it up.
Turn it up. Yeah.
Yes. And welcome, everybody, to this newest edition of the Real Tree Shaker Show.
Welcome.
If you're a sports fan and you didn't enjoy last weekend, we feel sorry for you because that was unbelievable. From baseball to college football to NFL, you couldn't stop. And even sprinkle in a little WNBA finals, which no one is talking about, but that series has been pretty good between the Lynx and the Liberty. But anyways, guys, before we get started, a little history lesson. Do you know what show back in 1951 made its debut today?
1951. Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt. The Twilight Zone.
Nope, good guess.
Trying to stick with the Halloween spooky.
I kind of want to go. I want to go game show or something, just because we do those kinds of things. But it's Halloween.
That's what I was thinking. Twilight Zone. Not Tales from the Crypt. The other one I was thinking of. Can you give us a hint?
I want to. Yeah, can you give us a hint?
Yes, it's in black and white.
Thank you.
I love Lucy.
Thank you so
I love Lucy.
Ding, ding, ding.
Nice, Ryan.
Good job, Ricky.
Ricardo.
All right.
There you go.
Well, and today also, Wayne Gretzky passed Gordie Howe as the NHL's all-time leading scorer back in 1989.
How he do
the GOAT of hockey.
The GOAT of hockey. Yep. But I don't know. I don't think that record will ever be broken. Wayne Gretzky's total points or Jerry Rice's receiving yards.
Yeah.
Which one would get broken first?
Jerry Rice.
What was the first one you asked?
Gretzky's or Jerry Rice?
Total points for Gretzky.
Right.
I'd have to say Jerry Rice. I think.
Isn't there
just with the talent that's in the NFL and the way the game's changed?
Isn't there a stat where I think if you take his assists out, he's still like the all-time
top 10
scorer or something like that?
It's like top 5, top 10, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
No, I think it's if you take his goals out.
Goals, okay.
I think it's one or the other. I know, but dude was just phenomenal, man. His scoring.
One or the other was not points. Like the other.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's our new song.
I think that's that's Foo Fighters lyric already.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not like the other. Yeah.
Yep. So the weather is about to cool off tomorrow.
Woo!
The leaves are
finally.
Colors.
Wait, the leaves have already been changing colors. At least
almost that time of year.
Yes.
At least the dead ones in the yard.
Ryan, what are the kids for Halloween this year?
Ooh.
Brooklyn is Cleopatra, and Kyson is going as like a scary psycho clown.
Cool.
So dressing like Dad.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'm telling you, man, you gotta shave the beard, grow out that stashtober, and put that wig on. Put that wig on and go do your thing.
Well, fortunately, Marie wants to do a beekeeper and a bee. She's dressing as a bee, so I got to dress as a beekeeper. So, keeping it simple.
Make that honey.
What is that? Yeah. That has nothing to do with the stash. You can wear a stash
I know.
And the wig.
I know.
And the wig.
I don't know. That honey might get all sticky and stuff.
That's a good mustache. That's a good point.
True.
Don't get it in the wig, man. Next thing you know, you got dreads.
What is it? Catch more flies with honey?
Hey, you're pretty fly for a white guy. All right, let's go on.
How about y'all? What are y'all dressing up as? You didn't tell me y'all's costume.
No?
Because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
I've lost, honestly, all interest in Halloween since my kids stopped wanting to go out.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a bummer. I mean, but I get it.
I know, man. You know how much candy I've lost?
Yeah.
I know. I'm just gonna say, like, all you got to do, find someone's kids to take to a trunk or treat, and you'll get stocked back up. You know.
What, like rent a
So
kid, or do I call P
sure.
Diddy to get one?
Oh, you know what? We can.
Uh,
Hey, we can rent my niece.
They could slip in and
There you
out of
go.
security.
We can rent my niece Addison. Oh, hot rod. I'll
There
tell
you
you what.
go.
You want her to go find us candy? That girl has got it.
There you go.
Yeah, tell her to
Split
bring
the
home the
stash,
big
and
candy
there you
bars.
go.
Oh, she already knows. She tells me that she has a map in the neighborhood she's in. She's like, and these people hand out the big Reese's, and this house over here hand out. I'm telling you, man, that girl's smart. She got it down.
There you go.
Love you, Addison.
There you go. Keep it up, Addison.
Yes.
Addie.
Addie.
Yeah.
Well,
I've never called her that. I used to call her Hot Rod because she's always on the move.
all right.
There you go.
Hot Rod Lincoln. That's a good song.
Hot Rod right there.
By all. All right, guys. College football. We had some good games.
Yeah.
And we had some games that we didn't think that were that we thought were going to be good. Didn't live quite up to the hype. So let's start there. Texas dismantles OU.
Yeah.
Is Texas clearly the best team in the country?
I mean, they played like a number one team should. And I honestly didn't know that Oklahoma's offense, I guess, struggled as much as they had. I guess I just haven't paid that much attention because, I mean, what is it? The 15th of October, and they still suck. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I might not be a biggest Horns fan, but at the same time, I'm not an OU guy. But yeah, I didn't know they couldn't score. So living here all these years and just paying attention to this particular game, it's usually like you can count the over in the first half. Usually. But this year, I guess Oklahoma's defense is pretty solid. So they didn't, Texas didn't necessarily go and stomp them in the first half. I think they wore them down more or less, but they played the way a number one team should, is what I feel.
Yeah, I agree. Texas by far number one. No, played well in all facets of the game. Just Oklahoma couldn't do nothing. Like, I felt sorry for that true freshman quarterback. Man, he couldn't do anything. So we'll see. Oklahoma can maybe retool and come back next year, but
I mean, they
for
probably
now,
will.
man.
They probably will. Being in the
Sure.
SEC, they're gonna gain some people and stuff like
Sure.
that. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that hate Texas. So
That's true. That's true.
I'm sure they'll rebuild, but at the same time, like, again, just like you said, I mean, and the funny thing is, I think Ewers passed for 199 yards.
199. Yeah, he didn't look like awesome or anything.
No, I don't think. But at the same time, I think that might have been part of the game plan: is run the ball. Once they got running the ball the way they did, I think they just, again, they wore them down and they just were like, "Fuck it, we're not gonna, we're not gonna do it as much." So,
and their defense stepped up too, so didn't really need Ewers as much. So.
Yeah.
Sorry about the F-bomb.
Whatever. No, you're not. You're fucking not. All right. Well, plus it didn't help OU that their top 5 wideouts were gone.
Yeah, top 5
See, I didn't
wideouts were hurt.
I didn't know that either. I simply didn't know that. But
I mean,
that's crazy. How do you have five out at one time? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
The wrong route tree or something.
I guess so.
All right, let's shift games. Let's go Ole Miss, LSU. Pretty good game. Ole Miss in control for most of the game. LSU makes a late comeback. This game goes into overtime. We buying LSU, or was Ole Miss just overhyped at the beginning of the year?
After the last couple of weeks, I think Ole Miss is maybe a little overhyped because I think their offense is there. But the last few weeks, they haven't really looked like that offense hasn't been explosive the way it had in the first few games. LSU, though, I feel like they're always solid. They have great coaching, the way the program and everything that's run there, or the university and such. But like, I don't know. I would buy LSU versus buying Ole Miss right now.
Yeah, I do think nighttime in the swamp, super tough place for anyone to play, and
no doubt
LSU's like, they got like a 96% winning percentage at night in prime time in the swamp, something like that.
It's pretty wild, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you know, Ole Miss, like I agree with you, T. Probably a little bit hyped, and we'll see. I mean, their schedule only gets tougher, so we'll see how they handle everyone else down the road. LSU too. SEC's is stacked, man. So
Oh yeah, for real, no doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
so
it's
there's gonna be a 2-loss team, a few 2-loss teams in the playoffs. So
I mean, there might even be a 3-loss team to a certain point.
possibly,
There's a, I mean,
yeah,
depending how some of these other things shake out, but yeah, I mean, you never
for
know.
sure.
Yep, I totally agree. Yep, I was one of those that bought into the Ole Miss hype. I do like Jackson Dart though. That kid's
True.
really good quarterback.
Yeah.
And they'll be fine. Like they could sneak in backdoor. So
Yep.
all they got to do is
Sure.
just run through that tough conference. But that's just going to be tough for anybody. But
Good running back too.
yeah, so they'll be fine. All right. Penn State travels to the Coliseum in LA to take on the Trojans. USC had this game under control, and then Penn State had the
God.
mad comeback and wins in overtime. Is this finally Penn State's big chance to maybe win the Natty?
I feel like again, like with the I think with this tournament, the college football tournament, and these other teams, I mean, yes, but then it's like, okay, what matchups? I think, right? So if you put them against, say, an Oregon, um, Oregon showed the other night that they, their defense could get stops and stuff like that, but their offense can still uh, explode. Penn
Yeah.
State the other night, their offense struggled for a little. I mean, what did we hear? USC gave up 17 catches to the tight end
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
something.
That guy
That
was awesome. Tyler
that's
Warren.
so if you're playing that kind of ball, which that's what Penn State's about, yes, they have they produce receivers at times and such, but that's the kind of ball they're gonna be playing. So I mean, yes, but again, if they get behind, are they able to come back? So if they get in a little bit of a hole, I should say. So
Yeah.
yes, and then possible no.
Yeah, I think it's been the story of the season for the Trojans. They've had leads in like every game, I feel like, and they've blown it in the fourth quarter. I remember the Michigan game. This comes to mind, and they had a lead going in with 5 minutes, 6 minutes left, and lost that game too. So
And this is the
same
third one
thing
in a
happened
row. Is
here. Yeah, I think it's the third one in a row
that
that's been
right?
like that. So yeah, I think Penn State, it's their style of play. It's kind of like what T said. The matchups are what's going to matter. When they play a team with a little bit more high powered offense, I don't know how real they're going to be. So we'll see
Yeah.
when Ohio State comes in. I think they play
Right.
Ohio State at home. I think
Right.
so. We'll see how that game goes, and could they win the Big Ten? It's possible. We'll see what happens in that game, but that's obviously going to be their big test.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. I do agree with you on that.
so we'll see.
First thing I thought of too is Ohio State, just because
Yeah,
they do have a pretty good offense. So
yeah,
with the weather changing and such, you get in those games. It's snow games. A lot of rain, cold weather, and all that stuff.
yeah,
Since a lot of the stadiums are outside,
yeah.
and since they have that kind of tied in production and the run game and such like that, it's kind of the recipe's there for it. But again,
Yeah.
much like you just said, if they get behind, do they have the offense to kind of explode and come back?
True. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people are high on Drew Aller, and I mean he's a good quarterback, but
Yeah, I
he
agree.
just makes some turnover. He makes some bad choices at times, man.
I do agree.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Same time, it's still
I don't know.
kids. They're still
Sure.
learning.
True.
Can't rip them too
True.
hard. So.
Yeah, I like Penn State's defense, and I think the
Right.
offense takes a little too long to get going in some games
Yeah.
because they've been in some close games.
For sure.
All
Yeah,
right, real quick,
Agree with Sean 100% on that.
because we're gonna save the big matchup for last. But are you worried if you're an Alabama fan because they almost lost to South Carolina? Like that game was fantastic. So are
It
we?
was a really good game.
I mean,
Yeah.
do we think that Bama's just trying to recover from beating the Georgia, or maybe the SEC is just that good from top to bottom?
I mean, I think maybe they had a little hangover from the Vandy game. So, I don't know. I mean, yes. I mean, the SEC is, obviously we've all talked about it, and we know that it's the strongest conference in college football. And you look at it, there's what teams do you really want? I mean, Mississippi State gave Georgia a hard time, and Georgia's up there to win the national championship. So if you're looking at the worst team in the conference, it's like who's a walkover? And I don't know if there really is one right now. I mean, Florida's starting to come back up. They took Tennessee all the way to OT, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So you just go up and down that list, and it's tough to find a like, okay, this is a for sure win. Let's just say that. So.
Yeah, I want to say it was Jesse Palmer that I thought brought up a good point when he was talking about that game, and he said a lot of times these first 3 or 4 games are like the preseason for college football. So, these guys just get going like you were saying, but yeah, I just think anyone on any given day thinks they can beat someone, other than in the past when it was like, well, I think that's kind of what the 12-team playoff has done. It's made teams kind of fight a little harder because they're like, well, we have a greater chance of getting in a championship game if we're not, when I think a lot of teams were like, well, we're 1-4, what are we playing for anymore, and
For sure.
now I think teams are thinking, well, we could still get in. It's still possible. Or these, 3-2, 2-3 teams are thinking we still got a chance. So, but yeah, it's probably been, more par this year than I've seen it in the past. So I think it's a good thing.
Well, plus you get the balance. You're seeing parity over college football because of NIL.
Uh-huh.
So
for sure.
That's gonna make to where, like you said, the 12-team playoff will be even keel. So it's all about matchups. That's all it is. It's in pitching in the Major League Baseball playoffs.
Yeah.
I think also too is that for the teams like you just said, they're maybe 2-3, and maybe a 1-4, and they're not just hanging up on the season, because all these bowls now are available for the teams that are in the playoffs, and you got these other not necessarily like huge bowls, but like just not necessarily the the Brady, not the Brady Bowl, but the Beef O'Brady Bowl.
Brady.
You know what I mean? So it's like so a team, say an SMU who's played in those kinds of bowls, SMU, like now they can look at something and be like, maybe we can play in an Orange Bowl, or maybe we can play here, and like that. So that way that again, it's like the playoffs. Sure, it opens up the opportunity for these teams to come in, but at the same time, I think some of these other bowl games now are opened up for them to continue to keep competing and not give up on the season. So
yeah, I agree.
All right, so let's go to Autzen Stadium where the Ducks took down the Bucks. What a great game!
Yeah,
but
awesome
what are you doing? What are you doing, Will Howard? Man, like, don't you know how to run out the clock? I mean, geez. But smart play by Dan Lanning. Supposedly he
making having the 12. Yeah, that's what he said when they interviewed him.
onto the field to get the 12th man penalty. So that's a pretty good idea. But I don't know, man. I think Oregon's for real. I think that was the game that we were all just kind of waiting for Oregon to click. But they're traditionally going to give up points anyways. It's always, can Oregon outscore you?
Can they outscore you? True.
That crowd was unbelievable. What a great! That we have to get.
That was a home field advantage for sure. I mean, that defined it. I thought how electric that crowd was.
It was really it was cool. It was a great game. Yeah, I mean, I think Oregon did step up. I think their defense stepped up, and then they need a little luck here and there, missed field goals and such. But like that's part of where that crowd comes into play, or that crowd noise comes into play. So, hey, hats off to him. That was a huge win for him. So happy.
Yeah. Dylan Gabriel stepped up, played a great game, really good game. Didn't turn the ball over. So
I think the only reason I wouldn't necessarily just hop on board saying like I guess I'd hop on board that they're for real. It's just tough to see them possibly winning the Big Ten, just because there's several other teams in there that are pretty darn good. And so again, I think a lot of it's matchups, but I think they're solid though. I really do. I think they're definitely a contender.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Me too. Well, all right, I've got 3 games highlighted for this weekend that are coming up. All pretty big games. I mean, there's going to be big games every weekend. I mean, because that's why I don't think you take too much of Ohio State losing to Oregon by 1. that's not really going to affect how the
Yeah,
committee looks
both
at
teams are probably going to be in the playoff regardless, I
it.
think.
Right.
So
Even same thing with Ole Miss LSU, just
all it's going to
because they're
affect is the seeding. That's
right.
it.
Because you're losing to a top 10 team. Oh no, and you only lost by less than a field goal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like, of course, you got Alabama traveling to Tennessee, number 7 at number 11. Both teams have been struggling the last couple of weeks. Who you guys got?
You said, say it again. I was watching those chili dogs or whatever they're eating on TV.
Oh, okay.
Oh, don't mention food. I'm
That's what was
starving.
something, man. I'm sorry.
Alabama at Tennessee.
At Tennessee, or what was the other one? Or
No, that's the only one, man.
Sorry, that's what I get. I was watching chili dogs. Man, neither team. Well, Alabama's offense has been there. Well played, sir. Well played. That's what Sean was thinking the whole time after I asked that. Anyway, I apologize. I'll
Oh,
get it
hell.
together here. But no, I mean,
Wow.
like Alabama's offense has played well. The defense has been kind of suspect, and so and then you look on the other side, Tennessee's offense hasn't necessarily been what it started being. So, I have to go Alabama in this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like Bama. I think they get it all together. Milroe has a pretty good game, I think, and I could definitely see it being a competitive game till maybe the second half, and Tennessee. Yeah. Alabama pulls away.
Oh well, I'm going Tennessee because I'm going with that home field advantage, and the way it's been the year of the underdog. Why not?
True.
That's true though. It can easily go that way as well. There's no doubt in that.
Another interesting one I liked was number 8 LSU. Now they're going to Arkansas to take on the Razorbacks. So that's another bloody mouth football game that's about to happen. Who you guys like there?
Man, that's Arkansas. Arkansas is a tough place to play. Man, I'm gonna stick with LSU. I do like what Sean said about the last take there about underdogs and stuff like that. So again, LSU better not sleep on Arkansas because that's an upset in the making.
Yeah, gonna be a tough game, but I think LSU pulls it out. Very close though. It's gonna be real close. Good game to watch.
Yep, I agree. LSU by a tutty.
Yeah, maybe like it could even be an overtime kind of thing. So 6, 7 points. Sure.
Well, this next game, number 5 Georgia comes here to Austin to take on the number 1 ranked Longhorns. Just who you got? I don't even know how to describe this. This is going to be a great game.
Yeah,
the town's going to be popping. Let's just say that it's probably going to start tomorrow. It's probably going to start tomorrow night. So
there you go. Head downtown.
Downtown.
Yeah, head down. No.
Head down. No.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've done it in the past and stuff on big games. It's fun. It's
environment would be cool.
It's a lot. It's a lot, man.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Honestly, Texas better not sleep on Georgia because this is exactly what Georgia does or can do is as soon as you give them a little bit of an edge, they're going to take advantage of it. So I think I'm going to take Texas, but they better not sleep on this game. They better not.
Yeah, I think
I don't think they will, but at the same time, like don't just because Georgia struggled of late, do not.
Sure.
Nah.
Oh yeah. Kirby Smart knows how to win big games, that's for sure. Ewers, I think he kind of threw the rust out
against Alabama.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, true. Well, he did beat him 1 year at least, so true. He did beat him in the most important years. But I think Ewers kind of got the rust out of his system this last week. So I think Texas steps it up and has a pretty big game. I kind of like Texas by like 10. I know that seems like a lot, but I think they kind of proved everyone we're the best team in the country. So
I do agree on
Texas by 10.
I'm
10.
I don't know. I'm torn between this game. But I think whoever gets out to the faster start, because Georgia
Yeah.
has started slow.
Yeah.
Texas, a couple of their games they've started slow, but like you
For
guys
sure.
said, with yours having the rust gone, maybe Texas. But I think whoever gets out to a big start, there's no pressure on Georgia.
No.
I mean, I think
No,
this
it's
could be their
all on
second loss.
Texas.
I mean, Georgia could lose now, but they can't lose for the rest of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as they keep it close. But all the pressure's on Texas.
Oh yeah,
But I think this team's just too good, man. But
The pressure is all on Texas. There's no doubt, especially with all the hype around town and such, and just living here and knowing that. I mean, even when they're not even say ranked. I mean, the
oh,
expectations of what their alumni and their fans like here. Trust me, like there's more pressure definitely on Texas there is Georgia.
for sure. Good
yep.
point, Sean.
So I will go with Texas. Close.
Okay.
But I could see an overtime game. All right, better pro, real quick before we change subject. Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers.
I'm
I'm gonna go with Beck.
Man, I'm torn. I agree, Beck though.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy decision. I think Ewers he can still develop into an NFL quarterback or what they're looking for. I think Beck's already has some of that experience that the NFL is looking for. That's why.
Yeah,
That's why I give him the
I
edge.
don't know if Ewers is the best quarterback on his own team. So
That's
No,
what I was going to go. Arch
I was
Manning.
like, I mean, Manning's probably the better NFL QB over
No, I
Quinn.
agree.
You know,
100% agree. I mean,
so
Ewers is not terrible. He's not
oh
bad.
no, not at
He's come
all,
a long ways.
for sure.
But man, yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
He needs to
I don't
grow the
know.
mullet out again.
I think Manning is just better. That's all
Yeah,
it is.
I agree.
That's all it is.
He is. He is. All right. So let's take a little break and go to baseball real quick. I know Ryan, he doesn't watch baseball because the Braves are out.
I was telling T, I watched like the highlights of it. I watched like Sports Center or MLB Network, and that's it. That's pretty much it. So I don't really keep up with the games. I know you guys have been watching the games live, so y'all could probably speak better to it than I could.
I mean, they've been good. I mean, again,
So
like I said, not having a horse in the race and to be able to kick back and just watch baseball and hope that 3 out of these 4 teams lose. But no, honestly, it's been really good. Like the Padres, I think the Padres got way too cocky and started
sure,
dancing way too early, and I think that all the antics woke up the Dodgers.
yeah,
And the Dodgers were like, "Hey, hello, we're still the kings around here, so we're gonna take care of business." It was a great series. The Mets are scrappy, and you got to give it to them for knocking off the Phillies and taking care of business. Um, hey, hats off to the Tigers. Hats off to the Royals. Nobody saw that coming, and let's see if they see. Props to the Guardians. Let's see what they
yeah,
can do.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, like everybody wants, like Major League Baseball wants, I want to see Yankees Dodgers. I want
Yeah.
Otani against Judge. But as long as the Mets don't make it, I don't care who makes it and wins. I'd like, Yankees for my dad to win. So
Yes for Dad.
yes for dad.
No
My
for
dad's okay.
Yes for your dad,
we're
no
rooting
for the
Hey,
Yankees.
we're rooting for you. Half of me's rooting for you, Dad. I can't jump on board after that
I think that's why it's hard for me to watch it
1999
because I
and
just
that World
dislike the
Series.
Dodgers and Mets so much. I can't stand that one of those teams is going to win. I'm like,
I
God,
mean,
man.
hey, it
Like
hurts.
one of those, it sucks, man.
Ron, it does, man. Watching it, like that's what I said. Sean asked me the other day, and I said, "Wow, can they both lose?"
I know. I'm like, I root against them the whole year, and it's like, I can't really.
But if you set all
Like,
that stuff, you set all that emotion and fanhood aside, and just watch it, it's
sure,
been good. It's been good. It really has. Even the Yankees game last night, it was just like, okay, watch them do their thing. It's like, well,
No, it was the Dodgers and Mets last night.
I thought the Yankees
The
were
Yankees
last night.
are about to come on.
Yeah, my bad. But the game before, yeah, I was just like, okay, well,
yeah.
No, you talking about? Didn't the Yankees play last night? Because
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the Dodgers. Yeah, where you
Okay.
at,
Come on,
You
Sean.
better hit that thing again.
All right. Okay, I did it.
Exactly.
You can see I got confused. I thought there were 2 games again today.
Yeah,
My
tonight
bad.
it's Guardians and Yankees.
My
Yesterday, both games were on.
Yes.
We know. We watched them.
Yeah.
Which I wish they would play back to back to backs, but they don't. So we'll probably that's why we get the series in like Thanksgiving. It's like Jesus.
You gonna be at the series during Thanksgiving?
I'm eating turkey, watching baseball or something. That's how long it takes.
Yeah, I'm not upset at that.
Wow. What a great weekend.
Yes.
Wow. Maybe not for Ryan.
Yeah. 0-2. Oof.
Poor Ryan.
Yeah.
Poor Ryan.
0-2. What?
Oh, my bad. I guess the Bucks won. My bad. But your other team,
they did. They dominated the Aints. Oh man.
Yeah.
The Cowboys got annihilated.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what? 4 straight games now. The Cowboys have been down by 15 or more at halftime.
Wow.
I mean, the numbers are just staggering how much they're getting just whooped at home.
And who's surprised? Not this guy sitting right here.
What about
Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys, and I need to.
Is he?
Well, he's getting
Jerry Jones.
He getting feisty.
Jerry is getting.
Yeah, he's getting a little mad. Y'all read about the radio host he yelled at or whatever?
Yeah,
I'm gonna take your job.
Yep.
Oh. You don't have to be an idiot to be smart, but you could be a smart idiot, or something like that.
What do you think I am, an idiot?
Yeah, I know.
No, that's not how we're going to do.
Well, Ryan, you're the resident insider for the Cowboys. What and or if is there anything that can be done by Dallas to, as Colin Cowherd said, stop the oil leak?
They got to make some moves for one. I get it. They were short Parsons and Lawrence and, 2 big keys of their defense, but God, they look so horrible. But I mean, I don't know what you could do, man. I mean, Dak made some horrible throws. Like he's trying to please CeeDee Lamb by giving him a touchdown, throwing it into 3 guys. So they got to get a running game. That's for sure. I mean, that's going to be their number one thing. They don't have any pressure to take off of Dak. It's pretty much all on him. And with him making $60 million, he's sure going to feel like I got to win it. I got to win them all. So I don't know, man. I think it's head coach, man. I said that after last year. McCarthy should have been gone. Zimmer is running schemes from 2008. They don't work anymore. They just don't work. So I would go out and try to get Saleh as a defensive coordinator.
Hey,
I don't know.
It's
it's not
on that.
Yeah, it's not. I know it's not going to work mid-season, but they're going to stick with Zimmer. But it's going to be just another disappointing year. 9-8, 10-7, and losing the first round again. So,
I mean, it was written on the wall coming into the season that we'd see this. So there's no point. There's no point in breaking it down. There's no point in. I mean, we're seeing it unfold. Some of us knew this was going to happen, and that's what happens when you don't have a balanced approach to the game on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
Dumpster fire, and I love it.
Hey, so do you have Dak in another league too?
I do actually, yeah. I do. He did terrible in the Superflex league.
Yeah. Well, did you learn your lesson?
Well, I don't have any other options, to be honest.
That's what I said. Did you learn your lesson of drafting him?
Yes, I did. Hey, but last year he won it for me. He won it for me. Him and CeeDee Lamb won the league for me because they finished off like awesome.
They also had weapons in the defense. You know what I mean? So
and Ryan trying to get Jordan Love for
real. Come on,
come on for Daniel Jones, really?
Hey, that's your boy. Come on.
I told you.
I know it's my boy, but
I told you.
Did it mean success? I mean,
I told you. I said
his numbers are the same as Kyler Murray's. His numbers are the same as Jalen Hurts.
What does that mean?
I'm saying he's playing on a level with, that second or third tier quarterback. He's not in the bottom tier anymore.
So Sean's going to trade away one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, playing well, to
injury prone. quarterbacks. Yeah.
And we're talking about that.
So you're going to trade me a quarterback who's missed 17 games in the last 3 years? Okay.
Well, would you rather have Dak? No.
Who would?
Yeah,
Yes, I hear this. I've been hearing this. I've been hearing it for a year or 2 years now.
No Dak.
Exactly. I just
So what do y'all think is wrong with the Cowboys? Is it fixable?
They're too top heavy.
Yep.
Jerry pays top dollar to all his top players, which I get, you do, and if you're the player, take it, get all your money. But like all
True.
these players, he's paying them too much and too early and too long of a contract too.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, what have they really added to their team? Because they didn't do anything in the offseason.
Right.
You bring back Zeke. Okay. You're replacing your center, your left tackle. I mean, the defense has just been getting shredded. They clearly were better with Dan Quinn and his scheme.
Yeah, for sure.
And I agree with you on the Zimmer thing. Yeah, his schemes are old.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's once you pay that QB, and I mean, you're gonna have probably a top 3 APV or APY player in the 3 of the most important positions: quarterback, wide receiver, edge rusher. So you can't really, unless you nail the draft, your resources are allocated to NFL Europe to get players that you need, or just kick field goals all the time.
I mean,
he's the best player on the team, Aubrey.
I mean, my thing is, if you want to win a Super Bowl and that's what you really want, why not take a pay cut and be able to fill in other players to other positions with that money and build your squad up? I mean, the reason they say they couldn't afford Derrick Henry, or they said because they couldn't afford Derrick Henry. Well, if that's the case, maybe Dak could take $10-15 million less to put at least one of the top running backs in the league right now on your team and give you some balance. Then you can go get another receiver that's a threat. Like if you're sitting there asking for, I'm one of the best in the league, I want my contract. I get that, I do. But if you're trying to break the bank, that's not going to help the team. Then what?
Yeah.
Then what's the
and
point?
Not everybody has that mindset of Brady or Mahomes, to do that.
Exactly.
So
exactly. I mean,
but I think the main issue was that they signed him so late. I thought they should have done it back like in March. They waited until Lambs was like a week before the season, and then Dax was like 2 hours before the first game of the year.
Right.
It was that's your problem. That's why you had to overpay him. They could have paid Dak, a lot less, and Lamb a lot less if they would have paid him earlier. So
at the end of the day, Jared got to hang it up and let someone else operate because it's not working. That's just how I think that's as plain and simple as it gets.
Belichick next year.
I hope not.
I hope not either, because he, like Sean, maybe Sean was about to say, but we were talking before. Is like he's having a lot of fun. I'd like to see him go back and get the record. I do. But if you're going to, I don't know if you take on a dumpster fire. Like is he really trying to take on that? And I just don't know about that.
Belichick having fun, banging a 24-year-old. Life is good.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
I love listening to him talk about football. Like last night,
on the Manning cast. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's definitely more.
I wish he was there the whole game sometime.
I agree. I agree. It'd be cool to watch the game with him, and then after the game's over, him go through and like do his little telestrating thing. Just kind of thing. It's cool. Yeah. It's cool to hear him talk.
For sure.
All right. Well, big news today as Devontae Adams has been traded to the New York Jets. Guys, does this really matter? Is this going to help them?
I think it's much like we watched shows earlier and listened to him talk. It helps, but it's not going to solve anything.
I mean, I still think their division's pretty open. I know they got beat by the Bills, but I still think the division's open for anyone to win. So does this make Rodgers happier? We'll see,
Oh, it does.
I mean, like I was saying, there's no more excuses now. I mean, not any credible ones, at least, that he can make. I'm sure there'll be more, but nothing else that he can say. He has everything he needs. So
no, I totally agree with that.
if it fails now, then it's on him.
I agree. And like Allison Chain says, no excuses that I know.
Exactly.
Nice.
All right.
Also, here comes the rooster. So we'll see if we'll see because it could be crowing super early on them not making the playoffs.
Well, at least the Jets will have. Hopefully, Devontae can hook up that Taco Bell sponsorship for them, so they can.
Right. There you go.
$7 Lux boxes as they mourn.
We can just get one of those in here.
Sure, and don't forget the Baja Blast.
Right.
All right, so better trade: Amari Cooper to the Bills, Devontae Adams to the Jets.
Ooh. I think they were both good trades, honestly. I think I like the Cooper trade better because it gives Buffalo depth. I was telling Sean earlier too that I think like with Cooper and the way he goes about his business, he's not dramatic, he's not a prima donna. He just goes in and does his job. You don't hear him, complaining anytime. So I think that's a good fit for Buffalo. I think that's a good piece to get.
True. Yeah, I tend to agree. You think of depth. I just think they finally have a good receiver on their team, for once. So that's one thing that Allen has needed for, the whole season. So I think that'll help him. But I will say the Devontae Adams trade, man, I think it definitely opens things up for Garrett Wilson for, the running game. I think they're really going to have to respect the passing game for them. And I think if I'm comparing James Cook to Breece Hall, I'll probably take Breece, and say that they probably have the stronger running game, at least as of now, maybe after this trade. So we'll see.
I don't know. That's a tough call.
Yeah, because both teams
Cook has been good
last night.
Yeah,
and Ray Davis
out of nowhere.
He looked good. True.
He looked great.
Over 100 yards in the first half total yards. So,
hey, speaking of running back, shout out to that Bucks backfield. That's a mess.
Oh, I know.
Hey, so why are you trying to suggest that dude to start Rashad White, man? what kind of bull junk was that, man? No, the dude was hurt. He was out. He wasn't even in the game. I think I'd go White. Come on, man.
3-headed monster right there, man. So we'll see, man. I definitely, it was cool seeing Sean Tucker, their draft pick from a couple years ago, doing something, and
yeah, he balled
Bucky
out.
Irving, man. So Bucky's gonna be the guy soon enough.
I think Bucky's gonna be the guy moving forward. Maybe not necessarily moving forward, but I think he's gonna take over the job.
Yeah, he's gonna be the alpha, I think, for sure in that backfield. So
hey, there you go. Rashad White to the Dallas Cowboys.
Maybe. If they can get something good in return, why not?
Hey, I asked Sean earlier, but do you think Cleveland trades away Chubb?
Maybe. I think they've pretty much written the writings on the wall for their season that it's over. And Chubb's a free agent at the end of this year. I don't know why. I think they kind of want to see what he has, and if they feel he still is like the guy, most of last year, then maybe they decide to keep him. I think they'll see how it goes the first few games and then say, not great, we're going to trade him. So
that's a good point,
we'll
Ryan.
see.
It really is. Like, see if he's got see if that injury didn't necessarily take away.
Yeah.
From the ball. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm sure teams are thinking that too, but
sure,
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if they trade Myles Garrett and they trade him. I would not be
for sure. Start over. That's a dumpster fire too. So
that's worse than your place.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, it was not too long ago where it was the debate: do you take Chubb or McCaffrey as the number one running back?
Yeah.
So, and he's already had a major knee injury when he was in college. So he bounced back pretty good. But I think this dude is going to hit the ground running.
And now I don't think either of them are first round picks.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see. But Dallas could be aggressive and go get Chubb.
That's kind of what I was going to say.
I could see them going after him too.
As fired up as Jeremy is and Matt, clearly he's upset and ticked off.
Oh yeah.
But and I could just hear him giving in. I could see him giving in, like with all the media talk and and yada yada yada. I could see him being like, "Fine, let's go do something." It's like, well, yeah, you should have done that, in the off season. But
right.
We'll see. We'll see how the cards or everything plays out.
All right. Well, a couple more, and then we'll get to rapid fire for next week because Ryan has to go. Let's talk about your Manders, T, and that Ravens game.
Hey, I said on Sunday we were watching it, like they don't need to no need to put their heads down. I mean, they competed with a team that's supposed to win the Super Bowl according to all the experts. The defense, it's still suspect, but it stepped up at times. It kept them in the game. I mean, they had an opportunity to come back and possibly tie it up and maybe even win the sucker. But they're heading in the right direction. And hopefully they can continue to keep doing so. We'll see if they make a move at all at the trade deadline, possibly bring in a veteran or something like that. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I could see them trying to get a receiver or something, maybe someone else to pair with McLaurin. So, yeah, hats off to the Manders, man. No wonder Dan Quinn wanted to get out of Dallas so quick. I don't blame him. I just hope next year they are the freaking Redskins, man. I wish they would bring that back so bad.
I do too.
I wish they would bring back Redskins and just be the freaking Redskins again, man.
Someone we were watching a show sometime this week, I think, or maybe last week, and they were saying if the Mandos go and win the division or do good, they got to keep the name because look, then what?
Yeah, I know. No, I want to see that logo on the helmet, man. Come on.
Too. Again, I completely understand what about the name change, and I get all that stuff. I just don't think it was,
necessary.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
But again, I respect it and I understand I do, but yeah, I just don't think it was necessary.
I don't know. I kind of liked when it was the Washington football team.
Yeah, I was
kind of unique and
Yeah,
different.
FT.
I didn't mind that at all. Yep. Or the WTF. There's definitely a WTF in there.
You can just switch up the letters. See,
well, it was easy. You can go several ways with it. But yeah, I'm with you, Ryan. It'd be cool if they did bring it back. Honestly, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But, highly unlikely though.
Damn.
All right. Last one. What do we think about Sirianni chirping to the crowd? I mean, I don't know if you heard the whole story about how the guy was just saying, run the ball, and he turned around to tell him. Like, is this guy just dumb?
He's a joke. He's a straight up joke. And you can't if you're going to take a professional head coaching job and you act that way, like, come on, man.
Well, it's not his first time doing it either.
I know, that's what I mean. You just
True.
It's I don't know. I mean, like Colin said, it's the writing's on the wall, and we all know where it's heading. And I don't think it matters if they go to the Super Bowl. I mean, if they win the Super Bowl, sure, but either way, like he's not going to be there much longer.
Yeah, they struggled to beat the Browns, so at home too. So
coming off a bye,
yeah, pretty rough, man. And fans pay their money; they can say what they want to say as long as it's not, hate speech or anything. They can boo all they want, or say pretty much whatever you want. And
well, don't give them a reason.
Why are you even responding either?
Right.
Like, why even waste your time?
Shit move, bringing his kids up there to the press conference.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I was like, he didn't want the tough questions.
Like, did this guy get like the Cliff Notes? You remember Cliff Notes?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he got the Cliff Notes on how to head coach.
Right.
I think that. So
I thought that was Hackett when he coached the Broncos.
Dribbling. He hasn't figured out.
That's true.
He has not. No, he has. And then, I see him up in the booth last night, just sitting there, and it's like,
yeah.
He's in detention.
I seriously could see Nathaniel Hackett sitting in his office with an Etch-a-Sketch drawing up plays. Like, Aaron, look, and then it's I erased it, but real quick, look, that's the same one you did last
Offense
week.
looked a lot better after he wasn't calling the plays. Yeah, the running game looked a lot better.
Okay, so take away
Aaron Rodgers still threw for 260.
They only scored 13 points. If you take the Hail Mary away, which was sweet, by the way, they only scored 13 points.
Josh Allen threw some prayers too, though, that were caught.
What were they? No legs.
Fortunately,
missing 2 field goals.
That
lost them the game.
That was the loudest upright noise I've heard. I think ever. That was so loud.
Yeah. I think they had the mic turned up.
I don't know.
I mean, Sean's not wrong there. I think the offense it looked good because of the yardage and such, and they had some explosive plays. But the offense didn't come through when it mattered, and Aaron didn't come through when it mattered. So I think, again, nothing changed. And plus, Buffalo ran down their throats, and that's supposed to be a
and
good
that's a
defense.
tough defense to
So,
do that against too. So
supposed to be. So
props to them.
I don't know.
Well, hey, now the Jets are all in.
True.
That's what they say. Jerry all in or Woody all in.
Or yeah, I mean, Ryan, ask Jerry how they're all in and how that can help the Jets.
Right.
When you're at the next press conference for Jerry.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got one more trivia question for you guys.
Okay.
Who's the only team in the NFL this year not to score 20 points in a game?
Not the
It might as
Browns,
well be.
is it?
It might as well be total for the season.
I heard this earlier, but I don't remember. We'll say the Browns.
It is the Browns.
Browns,
Ryan?
yeah. That's
Yep.
that.
Very good. All right. Very, very good. Well, Ryan, you should be ticked off about that game last night because
Yeah.
that prevented you from having
Oh.
the first perfect week here on the Real Tree Shaker Show.
As soon as Sean mentioned it.
I know, right? He mentioned it. I was like, it's done. It's not gonna
Well, I was
happen
hoping
now.
to use some psychology because it was looking good on with fantasy too, and then see as soon as I put go Josh Allen, nothing happens.
Like,
Yeah, see, so it hurts you there.
You never say anything.
To that, I give myself. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
But so with that, Ryan goes 13-1 last night. So golf clap for Ryan.
Thank you.
But T
Wish
and
I would
I
have played
both
it in
went.
Vegas.
We both went to 10. Me and T went 10-4.
That's
so
good.
Now T is still up by 2 games in the win-loss column.
What? Yeah, though, that's awesome, Ryan. Good job.
Sean's double. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Way to pick all the favors.
I know, right?
Well, we're all still above 500. We're all still above 500. So, good job, guys. Got some good matchups this week,
fellas.
For sure.
We'll start off with we have a London game again. The Londonville Jaguars. Is that what we could call them?
Londonville,
Sure.
yeah.
All right.
I think that's pretty fair.
Okay.
Pretty accurate.
Well, we'll get to that game in a second. And also, there are 2 Monday night games this week.
I know. Unfortunately, hey, I was gonna say while T's gone, there's a couple things.
I'm here.
Brady, you saw became a limited owner of the Raiders. Sure, y'all
Like
saw
10%,
that,
right?
Yeah. Russell Wilson starting for the Steelers.
Yep.
And then
I saw Cam Akers got traded.
Cam Akers got traded to the Vikings. Yeah, again.
Back to the Vikings. All right.
So we'll see. Speaking of your Jags, are getting a new stadium in 2028.
What, over in England?
They might as well, right? I was like, they play so many games over there.
Yeah, I think they played 17 over there?
Yeah, it's because Shad Khan, their owner, he owns a football team over there. An actual soccer team over there.
The Glazers own what?
Yeah, they do too.
They own Man U.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't. Though they don't make the Bucks play over there, but Shad Khan has all the hookups over there apparently. So
well,
I'm guessing that's why.
Got a lot of money, so I'm sure he's got some pull. But yeah, you think the Russell Wilson move makes a difference? I think it makes him worse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you lead a team to go 4-2 and you get benched, but I don't know. I don't know why they think Wilson's so explosive. I mean, maybe I'll eat my words next week, but he's like a 180 to 200 yard pass guy, and you might get 1 or 2 touchdowns out of him. Maybe he's just not a high upside guy that's going to come out and be explosive. It's not. This isn't 2013 anymore, or 14. So I just don't. I don't know. I didn't understand it, but
who's this?
Are the Steelers better with Wilson playing over Fields?
No. I don't think it answers anything at all. I think if you want to give him a chance or bring him in, if Fields isn't doing good, then cool. But I don't think it. No, I don't think it changes anything.
What I wonder is how many years of Tomlin going 9-8, 10-7, making the playoffs and never getting very far are they going to allow? I get it. It's the whole coaching thing. We don't like to change coaches, but I feel like they do. they're like this every season now, and it's like, how long is it going to go
They
on?
always seem to sneak in into the playoffs and then
They
they get
do.
annihilated in the first
Yeah,
time.
and I'm like, why? But
I don't know. I
The
mean,
AFC Cowboys?
kind of.
no, I wouldn't say that. I don't think they're on that level, but same time though, I don't know. That's a good question though, Ryan. It's a good question.
Yeah.
I like Tomlin too.
I do too. I like him. I just, how much longer can it be like this?
For sure, it's been the same record spinning for a few years now, so I'm with you.
Yep. All right, well, let's get to this. So, Thursday night, guys, we got the Broncos going to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Saints open up as a 1-point favorite with Spencer Rattler at the quarterback position, and your over-under is 41.5.
I'm taking the Broncos 23-10. Better defense, I think. And Nick's starting to come around a little bit, but I think it's going to be a slow game.
And the Aints got beat down by the Bucks last weekend, man. It was great to see. That never happens. They always play the Bucks good. I was really shocked. But I'm going to take the Saints, man. I'm going to take the Saints in the under. I just feel like they can't let that happen 2 weeks in a row, 2 losses in a row at home. I don't know. I think they find some way to pull it out. Kamara does a lot, I'm sure.
That Broncos defense is a little tough, though.
They are. They're very good.
Well, we'll see if Surtain plays.
If Surtain doesn't play, then it leaves a little bit of an opening. But Olave's not playing for the Saints.
Olave's not playing, and then I think Rashid got hurt too.
Rashid Shaheed's kind of hurt. So you might have Bub Means.
That's what I saw. Bob Means.
Bub. It ain't Bob, it's Bub.
Well, we've been talking about all these revenge games. This is a little revenge game for Sean Payton returning home. So that's why I'm going Broncos and the under. Ugly game for sure, though.
Yeah.
All right, like we were talking about, the Patriots and the Londonville Jaguars tackle each other. The combined records for this game are 2-10.
Ooh, exciting.
So we got better Thursday night games, but worse London games this year. But the Jags open up as 5.5-point favorites, and 44 is your over-under.
I think this is Peterson's last stand, and I think that I'm going to take the Jags 24-21. Patriots defense is pretty rough. But I don't know about covering. I don't know about covering that those points. Over, I can see happening.
Yeah, man. I mean, America's sending their best product over there. That's for sure. For this one. So, I'm kidding. Man, I think it's gonna. I thought that Drake May looked pretty good against the Texans. Honestly, I thought he had the offense looking a little better. So I think the Pats keep it close, but I'm gonna take the Jags. I think they find a way to win, and I'm gonna take the over.
Yeah, I with you guys, I like the Jags in the over. Doug Peterson can't lose this game.
He can't.
Yeah.
He cannot. Or he's going to be
or he won't fly back.
Or he will be on a Carnival ship coming back on his own.
Or staying over there for a little while.
Yeah, why not? Enjoy the crumpets. They're great. All right, guys. The Eagles travel to take on the Giants. 3.5-point favorite for the Eagles. 44 is your over-under.
Oh, I took the Eagles in this one, even though I think the Giants they're pesky, and I think this just comes down to the offensive play, and revenge game for Barkley in a way. So I just kind of see him getting the ball, and again, I think this is also Sirianni is one of Sirianni's last stands too. You mess around and go lose to the Giants. You think it's loud now?
It's not that bad to lose to the Giants. Come on.
Yeah. But hey, the Eagle fans boo Santa Claus. So just think how loud they're going to be after division loss. to a team they think they should be. So.
Fair enough.
But I
Man,
have
this
the,
is
I have the Eagles
okay.
24-17.
What's the over under?
44.
44.
So, man, I struggled picking this game, but the Giants, they're at home, but it's at least not at night and it's not a primetime game. So they should have a much better chance to win. So I'm taking the Giants, man. Daniel Jones, you watch. He's going to win the game for him.
That's why he's trying to trade him to you.
Mm-hmm. Trying to sweeten him up.
So we make a deal. So if that happens,
he's
if
one of
that
the
happens, we do the trade, right?
National love.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to hype you up about a guy that you've been studying for years.
Yeah.
And then try to talk you into why you should trade.
Yeah, the guy who I have a jersey of that I refuse to wear because every time I've worn it, they've lost. So
Giants in the over.
Okay.
Stamp it.
Stamp it. Oh, double stamp.
See, I said earlier about him taking all the favorites. So see how he's changing it up.
Mhm.
Copying off my paper again, man. I should have said a word.
When? Today?
No, not necessarily today, but there's been times.
I don't know. He gets that script earlier than we do.
Yeah, he does.
True.
I like the Eagles.
You do convince me.
Comes in that sandwich bundle.
I like. I think this is going to be an offensive game. I think it's going to be. Neighbors will be back.
I do too.
Singletary should be back. Giants tight end production. That's all I'm going to say. Moving along, Seattle.
They should use Tracy.
Did you pick the Giants, Sean?
No, I picked the Eagles in the over, but I think it's a close game.
Interesting.
I don't know. The Hawks, losers of 3 straight, are traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons, the Battle of the Birds. Which one's a dirtier bird? Is that the Falcon or a Seahawk?
Probably a Falcon.
Yeah.
Well, the Seahawk is in water all the time.
Well,
I feel like a Falcon eats roadkill, though.
Oh, because there's no roadkill in Seattle, just Atlanta. So that's clear.
Yeah, I guess Ryan's got a problem with roadkill.
All right.
Where's the sound effect from that?
I know.
Roadkill sound?
No, just anything really. Just make some noise.
I am Skibbity Riz.
Anyways, Falcons 2.5-point favorites at home. 48 is your over/under.
Oh man, I got the Falcons. 30-17, so just barely under. I just think they're the better team, and a better overall team, I should say. They're starting to kind of find a groove as well.
Yeah, I like Cousins. He's finding all his receivers. So I'm going to take the Falcons in the over.
I agree. Falcons at home. Coming off a big game. I don't think this game is close. I think they win by at least a tutty. So next game, guys. Dolphins at 2-3, traveling to Indy to take on those Colts. Anthony Richardson. We'll see what happens there. Is he back? Jonathan Taylor, is he back? But the Colts open up as a 3.5-point favorite. 49.5 is your over/under.
I took the Colts 30-24. I think there'll be some action there just based on these defenses. It's kind of tough, like Sean just said, like who's gonna play. So I'm just going with the mindset that some of these guys will be on the field.
I took the Colts and the under. I think A-Rich is back. He's going to have some rust. Huntley, well, we know he can't really do shit with the Dolphins. So, but I do like the Colts winning, so I'm going to take the Colts in the under.
I agree. I think it's a lot of running of the ball to minimize the amount of times that the QBs on both sides have to throw the ball. So Colts in the under. Is this the game of the week? The Lions travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. What a great game this is going to be. But the Vikings open up at home as 1.5-point favorites. 50.5 is your over/under.
I'm taking the Lions 27-23. I think they're playing for Aiden. And after seeing how they performed on Sunday, not only against the Cowboys, but even after the injury, and they kept doing what they're doing, I'm going to give the edge to them on this one. Even though I can see the Vikings totally winning this game. There's nothing wrong with that team at all.
What was your score?
division
What do I have here? Lost 27-23.
30. Yeah. What's the over under?
Don't tell me what my score is. Come on, man.
I remember it. I was just saying.
You remember nothing. He's 30.
Oh, man.
30 in there.
I thought you said 30-27, so that's
You
why.
go. You staring at those commercials like I am right now?
Yeah. What's the over under again?
50.5.
Eesh. I think the Lions in the over. I think it's divisional game, could be close. Vikings coming off a bye. We'll see how they do, but could go either way, like T said. But I just like the Lions, man. I think they're playing like awesome right now. Probably the best team in the NFL as far as offense goes, and I don't know, like them.
Me too. I loved the way the offense. They have such great balance. Whether it's Montgomery and Gibbs, both have at least 70 total yards in every game this year. Montgomery's a touchdown machine. Goff behind that offensive. God, what is? Okay, Goff behind that awesome offensive line.
Yeah,
is really good. So Jameson Williams is coming into his own and getting Laporta. Like, come on, man.
Didn't work.
Don't be the only one who doesn't. But
Yeah, where you at, right?
I like the Lions.
I
and
know, right?
A very good game, but I like the under on this. There you go. All right.
No.
And hurry up, Hutch. Aiden Hutchinson, get back healthy,
Yeah,
man.
man. Feel
We're
sorry
sad
for that
to see
dude.
what happened. And I mean, making a sack too, but you know, he's Michigan strong. He'll be back and better next year. So the Titans guys travel to those Buffalo Bills with their fresh Monday night win. The Bills are 8.5-point favorites at home, 47.5 for your over under.
27-7 Bills. Titans are terrible. They can't score.
Yeah. Bills in the under. Just because they won't have to score that much because the game will be over by halftime.
Exactly. I agree.
Well, I like the Bills in the over because I think Josh Allen's going to have a lot of fun with his new toy, Amari Cooper. And
they won't need him.
Well, Titans do have a pretty decent defense, so I can see them slowing them down a little bit, so where they, maybe the Bills run the ball a little bit more or something like that, and run that clock down.
Maybe close early, but Bills pull away in the second half because the defense gets tired because Will Levis likes to throw backwards underhand passes to the other team.
And again,
he's Spider-Man.
Yep.
That simple.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. All right, guys. The Bengals, off their win of the New York Giants, are traveling to the most dysfunctional team, the Cleveland Browns. Bengals 4.5-point favorite on the road, 47.5 for your over-under.
Yeah, Bengals have to win this game to keep up, and I think the Browns are terrible. So I got them 30-13 to the Bengals.
Yeah, Battle of Ohio, man. We'll see what happens here, but I like the Bengals too. What's the over-under again?
47.5.
Oh, man.
I just don't think the Browns can score any points.
Yeah, same way as the last game. I just think, the Bengals won't have to score a ton to win the game, so I'm going to go the Bengals in the under.
I agree. The second best game of the week, or this could be the best game of the week, however you want to look at it, but the Texans 5-1 traveling to Green Bay to take on the 4-2 Packers. Packers are 3-point favorites at home, 48.5 your over under.
Oh, this was a tough one. It took me a while to come up with a decision, but I'm going to take the Texans 26-24. I think they just have a little bit more of a complete team, especially with the defensive side. I think a lot of it has to do with the weather, since that since it's about to be that year or that time of year or is that time of year, and so if you get some cold weather there, I don't know if the Texans are going to be able to play in that. So, but we'll see. I think they do win this game though, 26-24.
Yeah, it'll be a nice, close, good game, but I like the Packers. I just think that home field advantage is going to be a little too much. I don't know with the Texans. I just don't feel like they fully clicked yet. I get it. Mixon had a great game, but I don't know that CJ Stroud has fully looked like as awesome as he looked last year. At some points, I feel like. What's that?
Sophomore slump.
Yep.
Yeah, A little bit. You know, he has been. I feel like a little. You know, struggling just here and there, and you know, he needs to get down the weapons he has. But I like the Packers. I'm gonna take the over.
He's starting to look. They're starting to look a little bit better though. Even
They have
losing
been.
Nico and stuff. There's. I mean,
Having mixed them back helps a lot. So
A lot.
100%.
for sure.
A lot. Yep. I like the Packers in the over. I'm with Ryan just because of the home field advantage. If this game was in Houston, I'd go with the Texans. But should be a great game to watch.
Yeah.
And then we have this game. There's the Raiders going to play the Rams, and the Rams are 5.5-point favorites. 45.5 is your over under.
I got the Rams 30-13. I mean, enough said about the Raiders. So
Yeah, Rams in the under.
I agree. Rams in the under. Lots of running the ball. T gets a layup this week as the Panthers travel to Washington to take on those first place NFC East first place Commanders.
yay!
But
I'll tell you what though,
7.5 is your point spread. 41 is your over under.
I got the Mandos 31-17, but at the same time, like they don't sleep on the Panthers. Like this is a trap game. Like if somehow they can that defense needs to step up, and yeah, I would just is they should beat this team clearly. Again, don't sleep on them. I've seen this in the past a lot. So
man, the Commanders are gonna annihilate the Panthers. It's over before it started.
now they're gonna lose because he just I guarantee
no, they're gonna win 38 to
they're gonna win
38 to 17. So I'm taking the Commanders in the over. Watch.
All right, I'm coming for you on Sunday whenever that is.
They're gonna win. Don't worry. They really
I'm
are.
taking the Commanders in the over. I think it's cool watching Andy Dalton have some fun, and Chuba Hubbard's been really good since he took over.
He's been solid.
That worries me a little bit because if they get to that run game going, it's going to be tough. I mean, especially that defense is still suspect. So if they control the clock, that's going to be tough.
That's how you keep a good quarterback off the field. Run the ball.
100%.
All right, so maybe the third best game of the week, or the second, or the first. I don't know. But the Chiefs, they're traveling to San Francisco to take on the Niners. And the Niners are a 1.5-point favorite at home. 47.5 is your over-under.
I got the Chiefs 24-20. I've said it 100 times, and I'll keep on saying it until someone comes and knocks them off or shows me otherwise. I think the Niners they're obviously clearly injured, and they have a really good team. Again, Chiefs just have a better team at the moment.
I like the Chiefs in the over. Andy Reid off a bye is almost unstoppable. So his record is like impeccable, just about. So I can't pick against them. And like T said, you tell somebody comes up and stops them. But Chiefs in the over.
Well, I like the Niners in the over. I think it's just going to be a fun game, and I just think Niners have a little more firepower on offense. Hopefully Jordan Mason's okay, but Guerrero had a fabulous game. There's a lot of good running backs in the NFL,
especially ones coming up this year that are just kind of making appearances. Man, they're doing really well.
Tyrone Tracy, great job.
I was going to say Ray Davis.
They should stick with Davis. I think they should stick with Tracy, like use Singletary.
I agree.
For him.
Hey,
that's a little Bucks. I mean, that's a little Rashad White and Bucky Irving type thing,
You're right.
Where I think Tracy should be the guy there. Should be the alpha.
Yeah, even like I just said too, Gray, the other running back too. He's
Gray
looked pretty decent too. So I don't know. I would use Singletary in a different way.
The guy who makes tea.
Yes, Earl Gray.
Isn't that his name? I think I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I think his name is Eric Gray, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, okay. Earl Grey just sounded cool.
Okay, well, I mean, hibiscus. All right, guys.
God, I don't miss those days. Messing around with that hot tea at work.
Yeah.
No.
The Jets and their new jet, I guess, are traveling to Pittsburgh to take on their new starting quarterback. But the Steelers open up as 1.5-point favorites, guys. 43.5 is your over-under. And this is the Sunday night game.
Man, I'm taking the Jets because of the new weapon, 27-13. I don't I don't see either. I don't see the Steelers scoring many points. So
Yep.
I just don't.
Give me the goddamn Jets and the over.
Wow, that was
All right, nice big daddy comment, right?
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, right. The kid.
So, are the
Goddamn
Cowboys on the 1-year plan or the 5-year plan?
I don't know. That's questionable.
Okay.
No, that's not.
What'd you say? Next question? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the first of our 2 Monday night games coming up.
Who did you pick on that game?
Oh, I like the Jets in the under. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it could be like a 28-10 kind of game.
Yeah.
I just don't see the juice with Russell. But the Ravens are traveling down to Tampa to take on Ryan's Bucks. Both teams sit at 4-2, but the Ravens are 3.5-point favorites. 44.5 point is your over under.
Yeah, the stove's definitely turned off in Russ's kitchen. So yeah. I like the
The Bunsen burners broke.
Yeah, exactly. I got to take the Ravens here, and that's just simply based off of the Bucks defense last week. If you're going to give up that many yards and like that to a rookie quarterback, I don't know, especially with Derrick Henry playing the way he is and being able to run downhill. And I think the Bucks are a good team. I think they're probably going to win their division, or at least have a really good chance and make some noise in the playoffs. But I'm going to take the Ravens 31-17.
I like the Bucks, man. I do. I'm praying they go and sign Devin White. I think they overcame the interceptions from Baker last week, and if they can keep that running game on, like Sean said, how do you keep a good quarterback off the fild? Run the ball.
No,
You got
100%.
3 running backs. Run the hell out of the ball. So hopefully that's what they do.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bucks. I've been thinking about this one. I think this is gonna be a really good game.
Yeah, I do too.
It'll be a fun game. I really do.
Very fun game, yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, Darnold's kind of tapered off, but wouldn't Lamar and Baker be 1 and 2 for MVP? Maybe.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, yeah.
At least both are top 5.
Sure.
Easily.
Sure.
Okay.
I could say that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think this is a big game for Mike Evans.
Yeah.
I see a lot of running the ball and Vita Vea going head to head against Derrick Henry.
That's cool.
Yes,
Can't wait for that, man. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
All right. Last one, guys. Our second game on Monday night is the Chargers traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. 2.5-point favorites for the Chargers. 46.5 is your over under.
Oh man, I took the Bolts 26-23. So I guess just under. Cardinals do play well at home. They are sneaky at times against certain teams, I guess, in certain matchups and things. But playing hardball football, I think they're just gonna go in there and do what they do. So we'll see.
I struggle with this one. Yeah,
we'll see if Mike Williams goes back to the Chargers.
Right. He might. I really struggle with this.
I took the Bolts.
I struggle with this because if Harrison plays, I think the Cardinals have a much better chance of winning.
That's true.
Think they really need him, and he's out with he's out. But man, I'm going to stick with my gut, and I'm going to take the Cardinals in the under.
I didn't think about that, Ryan. That's a good point. Because he's probably not going to play.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Herbert's getting a little more healthier, and he finally had his best game of the year. Finally threw for over 200 yards. But I like the Chargers and the over. I think it's going to be quite a bit of a shootout.
Yeah.
And well, we've run a little long. See, we can't ever put a timestamp on how long.
Right.
But anyway, go ahead, Ryan. It's time for the Quiet Storm.
Yes.
The Halloween Quiet Storm.
I know. If I had a nice Vincent Price voice from Thriller, I'd do it, but my voice can only go this low. But there you go. You can find the Real Tree Shakers on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on iHeart. Please find us on all the socials. Follow us, like us, watch our videos. We're gonna upload some more stuff soon. Listen to us wherever you hear your podcasts. Subscribe, heart, like. We appreciate you all.
Yes, we do.
That is correct.
Yes,
and
we do.
I almost forgot, Ryan.
What's that?
I mean, I always have to play that soundbite. You know that. So.
I know. I guess it's their bye week, so we didn't have to do it this week, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. There are only 2 teams on a bye this week: the Bears and the Cowboys.
Bears. Yep.
And when we come back next week, we got the battle of the number 1 and number 2 pick between Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. But that's next week. We'll deal with it. As always, thanks for listening. Enjoy sports. Watch some baseball, Ryan. You might actually like it.
I might turn it on here in a minute.
There you go.
Whatever. We'll see. But
he's not doing it.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Fun as always, guys. Best night of the
Yes.
week. We really appreciate it. Bye.
Peace.